multiple spider bombs in order to deal with a large board.
Yeah, a lot of giants isn't that much of a problem. But we're jumping straight in here, seeing Loreance here on the top with his mage and Zero in the bottom with his hunter. It's very interesting to see how the mulligans goes as well, because a lot of the skill going into a lot of matchup is knowing how your mulligan strategy is going to be. Zero in his hand has like a fairly passive opener. He has one of the key cards in this matchup, which is a fireworks tech, because it basically gives you an extra death rattle. Loreance, on the other hand, has what I will call the golden standard of how you win this matchup. He's just missing the mana cyclone.
Yes.
He has a sorcerer apprentice, has an elemental invocation, he has a magic trick. He can have a really, really big turn when
This is a great start. Really, really good start for Loreance here, so we might be able to see him make a mark on the board right now. I'm particularly looking at that Stargazer Luna. And just how that will play out when he gets enough mana to be able to use the resources that he has in hand. But Zero, as we get into some of these, 5 mana, 6 mana turns, is going to start being able to develop his own momentum as well. It's just very slow at the moment.
Picking up the Arcane Intellect off the top there means that he doesn't have to go with this Luna just about now. Getting 2 more draws could be crucial here. Playing out the Luna is putting on some damage on board. It also sets up next turn a little bit better. So it's when you value the Arcane Intellect, basically. Picking up the Snap Freeze and a Ray of Frost. Now this hand is looking really juicy, just missing one good key card here, which is the Mana Cyclone.
Houndmaster Shaw coming out early here for Zero.
Yeah, just as a tempo tool here, basically being able to rush these spider bombs into, for instance, a potential giant that could come down this turn, or something similar here. Loreance, on the other hand, has this magic trick with his Luna. He's able to play out and draw some cards if he so wants to. Playing the magic trick without the Sorcerer Apprentice, because it's important to keep that for that explosive turns that we talked about earlier with this Mana Cyclone. There's the Questing Adventurers, is one of the cards that are included in this list to beat other mages, and it can really end up to be a big threat if you don't have like stuff like Spider Bombs, as we see Zero has in hand at the moment.
Well, here's where the rush is really going to play out, to be able to clear out that mirror image super quickly here. And Fireworks tech as well, coupled with that Spider Bomb, is going to remove the Stargazer Luna and all of the potential that it had to really cycle through Loreance's deck, and still no Mana Cyclone to be seen.
No Mana Cyclone to see, but the Sea Giant is in hand now. The thing with the Sea Giant currently is that it does basically nothing for Loreance due to this Sea Giant here. But going with a big turn here now with the Sorcerer Apprentice, the magic trick goes in and picks up another Tome of Intellect, being able to really just buff this up even more. Ray of Frost is picked up as well, meaning you can actually go with a big Ray of Frost play and just freeze the whole board here. Of course, you're scared of the potential rush that might happen due to the fact that Houndmaster Shaw is always on board, but just freezing the whole board and making a gigantic play here is really tempting. But this Spider Bomb in Zero's hand with the Houndmaster Shaw is really going to put a stop to all of his shenanigans.
Yeah, Spider Bomb right into the Sorcerer Apprentice will guarantee that this Questmaster gets eliminated here.
And now you're suddenly back to square one. You used a lot of cards. If you had something like Mana Cyclone that turn, you would just like, well, okay, I lost my board, but I have a full hand anyways. There's the Mana Cyclone though, after getting it from the Sandbinder, contesting this board here, but the Countess Ashmore just coming down. It's one of the tech inclusions that Zero has in this matchup, and he just, well, I can use this for rush. And you really see the power of a 4 or a dropping Houndmaster Shaw on 4 here. You've just been dealing with everything Loreance has been putting down.
Yeah, these Giants, I don't even feel like these Giants are going to be safe hitting the board, because there's no way that Loreance can really protect them for them to do their job. They can't even damage soak, which is one of the ways that you would want to play these Giants to eliminate some of that damage coming at your face. But the fact that there are Spider Bombs on board, the fact that there is this big Grave Horror as well.
Yeah, Oblivitron just charging in, just gets another mech out. Like, the rush effect from Hammer's Shot has done so much work at the moment. Look at this. Just look at this turn, basically.
So impressive.
How much damage you can just do, like, just because of this rush. Look, just how perfectly everything lines up. Clearing the board, puts up an impossible big board for Loreance to clear.
It's just a wall. It's just a wall of minions charging at your face. Already at 7 health here, and we are only 8 turns in.
Yeah, so Loreance here picking up the second Sandbiter will draw him the second Mana Cyclone or a potential Giant here. Gets the second Mana Cyclone. He has the opportunity to really go off with stuff like the Scorch, some freezes, just to try to survive as much as possible here. Because, well, he's almost dead.
Almost dead indeed. I mean, you're going to be able to do a lot of damage here with the Houndmaster Shaw.
But the twin spell, rapid fire coming in from Zero, just finishing everything up. And they saw that, like, basically this game was won by one card and one card only. That was a Houndmaster Shaw.
Yeah,
basically
absolutely.
shutting down every time you play something down, it got rushed into and it died.
Well, especially because you had the Spider Bombs to pair with it too, so let's not forget to give some of that recognition to those Spider Bombs as well. I think that we saw some really great play coming out from Zero. Being able to save the Houndmaster Shaw, putting it down so early, keeping it safe, and then, of course, getting the value from those Spider Bombs.
Yeah, there's also the fact that we saw the tracking quite early, and he picked up, like, he had the option of, like, an Ursatron, which is card draw and a bigger body on board, and it's just like, well, the Spider Bomb is what's going to win with the game. So he picks up the second Spider Bomb and just...
Good choice.
Yeah, it's a good choice there to just really just shut out the game for the Mage. And let's just see how much the Mage struggles versus a Hunter that gets on board early. But we're not going to hold you for long. This is the second match coming in, and already seeing like the Sorcerer Apprentice, Mirror Image, Sea Giant, and Mountain Giant, and he's uncertain how fast he can go here. It seems like, he kept the Mountain Giant just because he knows.
Absolutely, you should.
Yeah, he knows that, like, one of the ways I win is early Mountain Giant into Conjurer's Calling, and my opponent doesn't have Spider Bomb.
Yes.
Or any form of activator.
Hoping that that's not the case. I mean, the Hunter's Mark here for Zero as well. I almost want to see him hold on to it. Yeah, exactly. Just in case you do get a Mountain Giant on board and for some reason you don't have Conjurer's Calling to be able to pair with it. An absolute possibility here, but pass for the first turn, can't do anything here for Zero. Loreance now looking at a couple of choices. The name of the game right now for him is really to get that Mountain Giant out, but we're seeing a potential repeat here for Zero.
Yeah, with the
Already has the
Houndmaster
Shaw.
Shaw. And a Hunter's Mark to answer the first Giant if it so happens, due to you actually having a minion on board here. The backup plan, though, for Loreance is, of course, his Sorcerer Apprentice, and now he actually has a Mana Cyclone. He can go for a big turn 4, for instance, and basically play all the spells in his hand with the Mana Cyclone and the Sorcerer Apprentice if he so happens to want that. But next turn, we will most likely see this Mountain Giant just smacking down to the board. Houndmaster Shaw, though, coming in clutch as he always does. Zero just plays it fast, like, well,
if it ain't
you need
broke,
to answer
don't
this.
fix it.
And we don't see any Conjurer's Calling either in the hand of Loreance, meaning even if this Giant sticks, which we see won't due to this Hunter's Mark, it won't be a big of a problem because of no opportunity to actually duplicate this Giant.
Well, Loreance doesn't feel too terrible about that. You do see the second copy of Mountain Giant in hand that they're able to play this turn. Khadgar as well.
That's an Arcane Intellect as well. Might be able to pick up something good. Like, playing the Mountain Giant now is a little bit risky because, well, a Spider Bomb just kills it, or any other big stuff might kill it. And we see it here in Zero's hand, that the Oblivitron just instantly getting played out here, I think. Oh, he hesitated a little bit.
About it.
Yeah. Because this Oblivitron will pull either Ciliax or Mechanical Well. Before he drew that Ciliax, it was 100% of the time he was going to play this Oblivitron. But now, with the Ciliax, it's a 50-50. That this doesn't work 100%. So if he really wants, he can go with the Mechanical Whelp and
he's thinking about the clear right now, for sure. Yeah. Mechanical Whelp into, of course, the Dragon to be able to clear out that second Giant. And now, Loreance within this deck really only has Sea Giants that they're able to pull for those Conjurer's Calling.
Yeah, but now we see the turn, though. Sorcerer Apprentice down. He just starts playing out cards fast because, well, he needs to do the Mana Cyclone turn. He needs to be able to respond to whatever he draws, whatever that shows up here.
This is going to be a big Mana Cyclone turn. You've got that.
Got the counter spell as well. Playing the he has the opportunity also to play a Ray of Frost if he wants even more spell, but it's just playing down the Mana Cyclone for the spells he gets here though, and that's almost a full hand.
Almost, but it was well calculated there. That Ray of Frost would have put him over the edge. Counter spell
into March shot there.
Great counter spell.
The deadly shot is an option here to deal with something. The multi-shot will deal with stuffing.
Ooh, tracking. I was going to say, I like the tracking choice just because I think that Zero is searching for something.
Ooh, that Sea Giant though, that's huge. Just fits perfect into the curve, and it fits perfect into the board here. Just putting up something. You don't have Conjurer's Calling yet. You have Black Power Creation for another big turn next turn if you so want to.
Well, this is going to be really tough because Zero has already used a lot of resources early on to clear some of the other minions. Haven't seen any Spider Bombs yet, but it's going to be difficult for Zero to maintain a board presence to actually chew through these mirror images. He hasn't used a lot of resources here.
Yeah. Down comes the 9 lives and it spawns a 7/6, and you have a Mechanical Wealth to play next turn if you so want to. And if any mech sticks, of course, you can Celiax onto it and get some healing done. Loreance, on the other hand, though, he can trade into this if he wants to, but that means always means that you can't really like Conjurer's Calling it. He has the opportunity to go with the Power of Creation now as well on 8 mana, giving him the option to get something. A 6 mana minion that can actually deal with this, or just get some juicy minions like Cairn or something like that. He also has the Polymorph in hand, which he would love to use for something like a Oblivitron, but using it here as well just works perfectly fine to just push this 8 damage straight to the dome.
Yeah. And another Mana Cyclone as well, but here now we're getting into some of the higher mana turns where Zero can really start using these more expensive minions that he's been holding on to. Just even to get bodies on board.
Yeah, he can clear this Giant if he wants now with this Celiax and leaving the Celiax up on board in the process. Like, the problem with a lot of these turns for Mech Hunter is like a lot of the power minions are 6 mana, and you can't play 2 6 mana minions a turn. Which
it makes it very awkward. And you're seeing a lot of that here as well, is that, you know, the choice here, you did have to clear out that Giant. You really couldn't take another 8 damage to the face. But, you know, you do have Mojo Master Zihi waiting in the wings here, waiting for that opportunity to deny some of this tempo that Loreance has developed for themselves. But not only that, you have the Oblivitron and the Mechanical Whelp as well.
Ooh, but there comes the Questing Adventure as well. Yeah. Being able to start setting that up, you could basically have some sort of lethal...
another Giant, right?
Yeah, you can have a lethal setup for next turn if you so want to. But you need to be careful because you know there's some sort of minions in Zero's hand that can actually deal with this right away, and that's why it's good actually not playing it this turn, but maybe setting up next turn so it's big enough so nothing can deal with it except Spider Bombs.
Yeah, Ursatron played immediately here.
Yeah, along with this Oblivitron, yeah, being able to contest this board, and you're still in a safe position at 19 health. You don't die from these 4 damage on board here. But this Kagdar, though, with Power of Creation, will fill up this board fast. And what do we see here? This Argent Commander represents 16 damage. And that's game.
That is game. We're finally going to see Loreance be able to do quite a bit here.
Oh, that's missed lethal there from Loreance, though, doing the trade.
Loreance.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
That was actually a misplay. No! He would have been able to tie this up.
But will he get any sort of punish, though? That's the question. Is there any punish here?
Is there a possibility for that? I don't think so.
This is a hard board to deal with for Zero. There's very little you can do. Gets the Ursatron out, draws another one. Spider Bomb doesn't help. This Batterhead will clear off some of it, but you need to clear off everything, because if one minion sticks, you're basically over.
I don't think that it's possible to actually do it.
No, I don't think it's any possibility to actually clear everything here.
But still, Loreance, please.
Playing a little bit faster, Loreance, but not getting punished for this misplay. Going to the game 3 instead, though. And you saw, even though Zero managed to actually he managed to actually clear off all of the early giants there. Loreance managed to, with a good mana cyclone, getting the polymorph was super key.
Yeah, that's true.
To push extra damage there, but yeah, and almost missed it out in the end there by just a little bit. If it was lower health, that would be super scary. But didn't get punished for that misplay, missing lead. You saw him also when he just hit with the last minute. Like, oh, there's 3 health left on the opponent. Oh.
Gotta count that damage for sure. But it is a fortunate circumstance that Loreance was not punished by that, but absolutely could have been in a different circumstance. Now the score is tied up though, 1-1, Loreance and 0. It all ends here in this final match of this best of 3.
Yeah, now we finally see the Conjurer's Calling getting tossed out straight away because his Stargazer Luna with the Sorcerer Apprentice and his Mana Cyclone is a much juicier hand. Just a few more spells in hand now would make this good. Oh, the Elemental Evocation is picked up as well. Zero, on the other hand, has Houndmaster Shaw for a 3rd time. Ready for turn 4 if that so be.
Or a turn 3 coin play, but you do have 2 Ursatrons in hand, so I don't know if I would want to use the coin here. But
coining Ursatron into Ursatron, feels so good. Gives you all the card draw.
And there's not really too much that Loreance can really do about this right now. Can kind of answer that with a card draw of their own, with the Arcane Intellect that just got picked up.
Yeah, that's what Loreance wants now. He wants more cards, he wants more spells, he wants more something to do. Like this Frost Nova is also huge because if there comes a board from 0, you have the opportunity to just freeze it and you can still play out like Sorcerer Apprentice, Mana, Cyclone and stuff like that. Second Snap Freeze also coming into hand. This means that you can actually go Sorcerer Apprentice, Frost Nova, or in a few turns you can do like Frost Nova double Snap Freeze. You need 2 more mana. So there's a lot of options. What he really likes to see is like a Ray of Frost here, because that's a free thing with Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Do have a Giant in hand though, so...
He has the opportunity to play Giant now as well with Elemental Invocation if he so pleases, or just wait 1 more turn. The thing with Giant in hand right now is it's very little, or there's a couple of things like March Shots, punish it, and like a Spider Bomb could be magnetized into it.
Right.
So it's a dangers of actually running or just playing out this Mountain Giant. But he's considering actually going for stuff like a Sorcerer Apprentice, Elemental Invocation, Frost Nova, Mana Cyclone, just to get 2 spells and get establish a board presence. And it seems like that's what he's going to do, just to have some board, refill his hand, because it doesn't really cost him that much in terms of cards, but it gives him better cards, or might give him better cards.
Maybe.
Luna's Pocket Galaxy, one of the buffed cards coming in as well.
Yes, it did.
And playing that on turn 5 might be super huge going forward here. For 0 though, Bomb Toss is extra damage going phase. The Goblin Bomb is a good magnetic target. Flare will deal with any kind of random Mana Cyclone.
Yeah, I do kind of like the Flare option here, but just out of pure shenanigans sake, I almost want to see Zero pick up Flark's.
Yeah, it's also a buffed card right at the moment.
It is.
It's lower mana cost, and with his deck, it's not the worst either, because a lot of his minions have Death Rattles.
But the Flare is the proper choice.
Yeah.
So
the Luna Pocket Galaxy, though, coming down on turn 5. This means every minion Loreance draws from now on out is a 1-mana minion. This means stuff like Sea Giant is super easy to play.
So easy.
Mountain Giant is basically free as well. This could be super huge going forward the next few turns. But the problem card in Houndmaster Shaw is now put down on board. 3
games in a row now where we've seen Zero draw Houndmaster Shaw within of the first 5 turns.
So Blizzard coming down now to shut down this aggression from his opponent. Zero has the opportunity here now to just do some stuff. He can draw some more with Fireworks Technician. He can use 9 lives for drawing more as well and getting Ursatron in hand, which it seems like what he will do. Just playing it out. That's a Spider Bomb pickup, which is also huge here for to be able to shut down any plays going forward. Kagdar for 1 mana isn't that good. It's okay. But if we go with a draw plan now with Arcane Intellect, hoping to pick up something with freeze. That's a Ray of Frost, meaning...
That's good. Oh, 2 Ray of Frost.
Ooh, he wanted to play the Luna as well, but that means you can't play Snap Freeze, and you need to kill this Houndmaster Shaw. You saw how much damage it did last game.
Yeah, it has to go.
And that's the play there, just going for that. This means the Sorcerer Apprentice will most likely die in the process here, but unless he uses the second Ray of Frost as well. just to shut that option down. Mark Shot picked up though. Might give him an option. There's also Spider Bomb plus Fireburst tech. There's also using the Twin spell. So he has a lot of options to clear this Sorcerer Apprentice out. And there's a weird world where you don't actually clear this Sorcerer Apprentice if you have the opportunity to do so.
Zero does have 10 cards in hand though, so he's going to have to dump
Some, yeah.
Yeah, a decent amount, but you can already see again a lot of those 6-cost minions in hand right now. Mark Shot's not a bad choice here in order to get rid of it. I don't know if you really want to use Ziliax here.
Yeah, the thing is, the Ziliax is always good healing. Ooh, another Flax Bamsuka is the option here. Kill Command will never be active because there's no Beast in this deck. Explosive Trap. Usually don't deal much with this because there's usually 8/8s hitting you in the face and not weenie minions here.
Yeah, I almost, but it will be the Explosive Trap. Twice now where we might have seen the Flark's Boomzooka.
Yeah,
I would have been very excited about
the card has been buffed. Of course you pick it.
Yeah.
You don't know how good it is. So this is a turn where you can draw a little bit with Stargazer Luna with a Mirror Image pickup here if you so please. Drawing into some of the minions now would be like the key thing with this Luna. There's a lot of spells, of course, but minions would be really good. He's considering also just playing out this Mountain Giant. It will get punished instantly by this Spider Bomb, but he's also afraid of this being a snipe. It just kills the Luna if because you don't know the secret.
Exactly. Mirror Image, though, as well going to be punished by the trap that Zero has on board right now because we know that it's explosive.
But this protects his Giant a little bit for a Spider Bomb setup. Of course, it can be a 50-50 if you just do the Firework Technician after you hit with a Spider Bomb attached.
Yeah, I almost kind of wonder whether or not you go for that because we saw Loreance able to take that second game because they got the extra 8 damage.
Yeah. Well, we could actually guarantee it with if you use the rapid fire as well. So it seems like that's the plan, to just be able to kill off this Giant 100% of the time. With this Fireburst tech as well, if you Spider Bomb into it, you will also draw a card, which is always you get like double Death Rattle, which is always value here.
And that's a big Ursatron to deal with as well. So that's going to be a significant amount of damage and
that's the Mana Cyclone here. That's gonna be
almost certainly gonna hit.
Gonna play that after you Snap Freeze, then you're gonna Stargaze Luna. Do a little bit of cycling with this Mana Cyclone, see if you get anything juicy. Ooh, an Elemental Evocation.
That's good in this deck.
Conjurer's Calling is picked up as well now with Kagdar in hand. He's just one Giant away from making a huge board though.
There has to be a Giant though in order to actually get that to happen, but another Spider Bomb Magnetize combo here, this time with the Oblivitron.
That's a 0 mana Giant though.
It is a 0 mana Giant, and this is going to be a Conjurer's Calling.
Most likely this turn. Oh, that's a Questing Adventure as well. You can make like a big, gigantic board. You're just using Kagdar and Conjurer's Calling with this Ray of Frost to deny any sort of value from this.
So much value from the Stargazer Luna as well.
Oh, the Questing Adventure coming down as well. He just wants to set up this huge and draw an extra card. That's the Sea
another
Giant.
Sea Giant. Okay, another Giant.
And this makes it really hard. He's seen 2 Fireworks Technicians as well, so you know that you can't really activate this this Oblivitron.
Making some space here. Yeah, Khadgar is about to set up a massive board, and you've got the Grave Horrors. It's definitely what you want to hit here. That's all. Oh, that's perfect.
A full board, yeah. And you have also the option here of Ray of Frosting this this minion, so you're sure that nothing dies and just sets up lethal for next turn if you so happen to be. There's very little Zero can do in this position. You can even toss in a Sea Giant for good measure if you if you want.
If you really wanted to, you absolutely could.
Decides to have some refill for next turn just in case with the Conjurer's Calling.
I don't think that we're actually looking at a different deck list either. I think that we're still looking at the primary iterations of both of these decks.
So here's an interesting turn from Zero though. He's trying to set up some way to kill off most of this with this Rapid Fire, with these Wild Pyromancers. He can get the first proc in like this, then he can get another proc in with something else. What he wants though is to also kill this Oblivion in some way, and he can't. He could have done that if he placed this a little bit differently with the rapid fire. Seems like he might have not noticed it, because that would pull a mechanical weapon or a Celiax. Not that that would matter that much. That freeze on this makes it so awkward for Zero going forward here.
I mean, he's staring down 28 damage from the Grave Horrors alone. Rapid Fire will be able to clear out at least the Luna and the Questing Adventurer, but...
Yeah, and this Celiax will basically give him a little bit extra. The Fireworks tech pick up gives him the opportunity to kill one, pull out something. He pulls out on the mechanical well, pulls up a decent sized board, and it's only 21 damage here.
Only 21.
Represented. So he's 3 damage off lethal here for Loreance. There's no way to find lethal currently except by Cinder Storming 3 times to the face, but or only 2 times actually with the ping as well. He goes for the full face plan, plays the Cinder Storm. If this misses, this might be it. All over. 1, 2. Oh, it hits! Loreance is the winner. Going up 2-1 with his Cyclone Mage. So he hasn't gotten a win on the board yet, but
he hasn't. But finally, we are going to see Loreance take a win here, and it was a little bit unfavored for them as well.
Yeah, that Luna's Pocket Galaxy at 5 just perfectly lined up everything. The free giants going into the Conjurer's Calling.